When you're ready.
Okay.
Do you want my name or anything? Or?
If you want to.
So my name is Sarah, and a year ago my children were taken away from me by their father. Both of them are American citizens, and their father took them back to Sweden because he refused to live here, and he claimed that I've retained the children who are American born in the United States. And I have not seen them for a year as a normal mother. I have to go to the school in Sweden to see them because we have shared custody in Sweden. And by the way, I had sole custody of both of them in the United States. And right now, the appeal court decided that yes, the lower court made 6 errors by sending my American kids to Sweden, but they refused to order a re-return because they didn't give any reason, but they basically declined to help their own citizen. Now I have to fight with the Swedish court to even file a claim against them, and my Swedish attorney filed a Hague Convention against my ex-husband to ask for the return of the children to the United States. I'm going there in 2 weeks from now for the hearing, and my children and I talk on Skype whenever their father let them.
Your age?
My son is 7 years old. My daughter is going to be 2 next week, and she was taken from me when she was 11 months old, nursing infants. Like I said, she's a born U.S. natural born citizen, so our country is not even protecting their own citizens.
And what are you going to do after the Hague case?
Well, we filed for the Hague. The hearing is on June 1st and 2nd, and we're hoping at least to get Emma, my daughter, to be returned because she's never been to Sweden, so how can she be a habitual resident of Sweden? But I guess the court doesn't like to separate kids, but I don't know what's going to happen. But if that doesn't happen, then we have the final custody hearing in Sweden, which is very strange, because we were married in Sweden. We are married in the state. The children are born in the state, but some reason they think that Sweden has jurisdiction over 3 American citizens. We never lived there. So we will have the final custody hearing sometime in the fall, and they probably, I can't say what they're gonna do, but he's probably going to get sole custody because I'm an American citizen. I can't live in Sweden, don't speak the language, cannot work, don't have a work permit or residence permit to live there. And there are 100,000 women like me who are forced to be in countries where they cannot work or support themselves or support the kids. Therefore, they take the kids away from us and give them to the parent from that country. And we never get to see our kids, but we have to pay for child support.
And what has the State Department been saying? Have they done anything?
The State Department called me a year ago and forced me to get my kids their passport for Sweden. I declined to do so because they're born American citizen. They should get an American passport to travel abroad. It's actually a law in the state. You can't, as an American citizen, you cannot leave or enter the country with any other passport, even as a dual citizen, but the American passport. My ex took the kids on the Swedish passport without their pictures, without my consent or signature, because his daddy is the best friend of the Swedish ambassador of Washington, D.C.
And has the State Department, under what pretext did the State Department tell that you had to get passports for your children?
Because the Swedish ambassador emailed them, called them, told them that those kids are Swedish citizens and they need the Swedish passport.
And so that's a legal thing for the State Department to tell you?
No, I refused to do so. The judge requested a hearing the day before they were sent away, and basically said that if I don't comply, I will be put in jail. And I said, I'm not complying, Your Honor, because if I go to San Diego, because I live in Los Angeles, I'll be violating a court order to not leave the county of Los Angeles. And he was dumbfounded. He looked at me like, oh yeah, I ordered you not to leave the county, but now I'm asking you to go somewhere else. I'm like, I can't do it. I would have been put in jail if I drove 3 hours away to take my kids to a different county, and you would have put me in jail, so I can't do that.
And why was there this order against you for traveling outside of Los
Well,
Angeles?
anytime you file for divorce or when you have a Hague case, you cannot leave the county where the court is, the jurisdiction, because then they lose the jurisdiction. Even if I went up to San Francisco, they could not have done the Hague case against me. But I truly saw that American citizen cannot be taken away from their country. But
Yeah, I mean, basically, your children were deported, illegally deported
Exactly.
outside of the United States.
exactly,
And the State Department has done absolutely nothing,
but
and
help
the abuser
Yeah.
and helped to the deportation of your children.
exactly.
And do you know of any other cases like that? Or
I know about 8 other cases in the state of California where children born here never even been to the father's country. The fathers go back home to Denmark, Holland, Finland, and Norway. We call them the Nordic countries. So those countries have some kind of agreement with our country because all our children are being deported one by one.
and are you doing anything collectively to
Yes,
try and
we have organized a group now. We all met through this domestic violence group from Oregon. We are basically getting together and we're going to file a civil action suit against the government, the State Department, and we also have proof that most of the judges were paid off. Like literally proof, paperwork trail and everything. So we can take that to the State Department and sue them for taking our kids away.
and where are you filing your case?
We don't know yet, but probably Boston or New York.
Okay, this will be a case in federal court against
Yes.
the U.S. government.
Yes.
And do you know exactly under what laws that this will
Yes,
be
we
filed
will
under?
have all of it together. Actually, another mom and I are doing all the paperwork, putting it all together, and we're sending it to 3 or 4 different big pro bono law firm. We're going to take a look at it, and then they will give us direction if they're going to take the case or not. But we need more moms. You know, it's only 8 of us right now. We also need dads if they've been in a Hague, if they filed a Hague Convention in the United States, and if they lost, then we need their help too.
Okay, but what is the law, the federal law that you're filing against the United States? Is it the Federal Tort Act? Is it the Alien Tort Act?
We don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
We want to
Okay.
get all the cases and read all the cases and find common points
Right.
to see what happened in every cases. I was lucky enough to have a hearing, even 2 hearings, 3 hearings. But some moms, they just woke up one morning and they had a SWAT team at the door and grabbed their kids and put them on a plane. And it was a nursing infant of 6 months old, born in LA, was deported overnight to a country she's never been, to her father, Danish father. But all those cases are sealed. So if you don't know the mother, if you don't get the paperwork directly from the mom,
Right.
if we call the court, we can have it, because my case is sealed. You cannot find my case online. So they don't want other people to find out. So there's basically child trafficking.
That's exactly what it is. It's child
And the
trafficking.
state is helping them doing it.
And it's international
Yeah.
child trafficking. Well, thank you very much,
You're
Sarah.
welcome.